Let's go to Michael in Buffalo. What's up, Michael?
Rat-a-tat-ta, what's up, Dr. John?
Rat-a-tat. What's up, dude?
Oh, goodness, a lot.
Well, what's up, man?
So the reason I wanted to talk to you is my question is I've haven't been a good husband or father, and my wife now, who I've been with for 5 years, is at wit's end, and I want to be that man that she deserves, and I fail miserably in every step that I try to do anything.
Well, first, thanks for being brave. Usually these kind of calls end up with me coming at you a little bit. Is that cool?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm straight up with that.
Cool. Well, thanks for being open, man. I know that's not an easy thing to say, to look in the mirror and put both hands on the counter and look in the mirror and say, I'm not the man and the husband and the dad I want to be. So thanks for starting there. What does that mean, that you're not good?
Well, she's my second wife. My first marriage ended pretty bad just because I wasn't faithful to her, and multiple times. So I was basically a serial cheater and liar. And then I went on just to basically live it how I wanted to. And then I met my wife now, and some of those same traits or aspects are coming back out. You know, there's times I'm not truthful, or I lie, and it's not just that I lie, but then when I lie, I guess I gaslight and try to make her believe my lie, and I've been unloyal to her in ways of talking about things with our relationship involving her, but putting the blame more on her than myself. And, even to the point where a lot of things she says, it just appears that I'm selfish and narcissistic, and, I lack, empathy, and haven't been faithful to her, infidelity. It's not that I've cheated on her. I haven't cheated on her.
I think you have. I think you have.
Yeah. She said it, I've not physically cheated on her, but at the beginning, like, I did talk to other women, but then that stopped. But then, like, I've, financially, I have, shown infidelity emotionally. And she's a great woman. She straight up tells me how it is, and she sure reminds me of the female version of you.
Hey, hold on. Let's start. This only works if you're honest with me.
Yes, sir.
Have you cheated on your wife?
I have not. Absolutely not. And I've told her that, and of course she doesn't believe me because I've lied to her.
Yeah.
I've never, that's one area that, and I've told her, like I learned my lesson in that. She makes me happy. She fulfills me. And I know,
She's not the issue, and your first wife wasn't the issue.
Exactly. I've been the issue.
For some reason, you believe that you're not good enough. Why?
Yeah, well, I have things from my past that
what
I've brought. For years in my first marriage, I never brought it up until going to counseling with my first wife, and even my parents never knew I was molested as a child.
Okay.
I held that in by neighbor boy who babysat me.
Okay. And
I held that in for all those years, and as far as like the ACEs score, like I've done that, like I don't score high on that. So it's my parents are together. I have a good family. I'm the only one in the family divorced. My siblings are married and happy. And
I know, but listen. When you have something like that, then your body learns that there is no safety in trusting relationships.
Right.
And so when you have a trusting relationship, everything in your body says run, says discomfort. It sounds every alarm you got.
It does.
And one of the ways to shut the alarms off is alcohol. And one of the ways to shut the alarms off is to go achieve, just start running, right? Work 90 hours a week. Yes. And one of the ways to shut the alarms off is to go sleep with someone else. Or if you're not technically sleeping with somebody else, another way to shut the alarms off is to start texting somebody because you get that little bitty, it feels good, right? It feels like you're alive for a second, right?
Yes, sir, it did.
And so think of it this way. And again, I'm being super simplistic here, but let's just say one story equals one action, okay?
Yes.
Your body knows that intimate relationships are going to get you hurt. And so when you enter into one, it covers you up with those big, heavy, weighted blankets.
Right.
And you can't breathe, and you get scared, and you don't like who you become.
Right.
And then you go chase excitement.
Right.
And ultimately, my guess is you've beat yourself up pretty bad over the last few years. And to be honest with you, rightfully so, because you're treating these women who loved you like garbage, right?
Yes.
You're running through this cycle that you believe that you're not good enough and the truth isn't good enough. And so you confirm it by your actions, right? That you're not a good dad, you're not a good husband. And then you just do the things that backfill that story and make it right. And so I think Jenna told me you read the book. You read my book. Did that rattle your cage at all? Did you roll your eyes at it?
No, I didn't read it. I actually listened to it online through one of the library services.
Okay.
It was good. It was really good, and I shared it with my wife. And my wife loves you. She listens. We both listen to you all the time. So, I actually told her about certain parts, and how I need to go. I actually want to get the book so I can actually keep notes on it and try to take the steps in there that you emphasized.
What have you tried? What have you tried?
As far as the book goes,
no. Throw the book out. Use it for two-ply on a camping trip. I don't care about the book. Like, what have you tried to stop lying to your family, to stop cheating on your family?
Yeah, and that's with my wife, I've tried being open and not lying to her about things, and then of course at times when I am truthful about things, getting the reactions. I know, either I get the reaction or I'm projecting what the reaction is going to be, and then it basically triggers me into like, well, I don't want that reaction, so I'm going to say this, so I get a different reaction, and then that lie ultimately triggers a worse reaction.
Right. So here's your way forward, man. Here's your way forward. I wish it was more complex than what I'm about to say. At some point, like an alcoholic has to look in the mirror and say, I want to, but I can never drink again.
Yes.
Or like me, I want to, but I have a problem with food. I do. And so I have to create an environment where I can only make good choices. Just it. You have to decide point blank, I will never lie again. You have to decide point blank, I will never cheat again. And then you have to create a world that makes that very, very difficult, and you have to practice it. That's it.
Yes.
I wish it was more complex than that. It's just simply not. And I tell you this as someone who lied a lot. I exaggerated about everything, and I watched a professional just implode their life. And it was this weird moment that was, I will never be dishonest again for as long as I live.
Right.
And it has been really uncomfortable. And when I say practice, here's what that means. You will lie again. It becomes second nature, right? And you're probably pretty good at it, and it just comes out. You stop either right then or you circle back and you say, I didn't tell you the truth. And you have to tell your wife, I need some grace when I circle back. Here was the rule I gave my students. Like when I called them in and said, hey, they found a bunch of drugs in your residence hall room. I would always tell them, before I talk to you, I need you to know you got 24 hours and I'm going to take it as though you told me the truth now. Because I know what happens when someone just blasts you with an accusation. It's so easy. It's second nature just to go, no. If you come back within 24 hours and change your story, I'm gonna take it as though you told me that the first time. After 24 hours, I'm gonna try to remove you from this campus because you're a dishonest person, and I don't want our degree hanging on your wall. Right? So come up with some sort of contract with your wife and say, I'm going to practice with all that I am to be a person of integrity. And that means there's going to be moments that I fire off with something that's not true, and I need to catch myself in that moment, or I need that moment to haunt me so bad that I loop back and change it. And I need you to hear me and exhale and say, okay, he's working hard.
Right.
Practice not being a cheater means you delete every single woman in your phone that's not your wife now. And you delete social media now.
Yes, I don't even have social media, so.
If you have a problem with pornography and checking out all the various sites for getting into people's living rooms and in their bed, then get rid of your computer.
Right.
You're an addict.
Yes.
And your addiction is deception.
Right.
And then underneath all of that, man, at some point, you've got to decide that you're not a piece of crap.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge.
It is. It is.
You got to love yourself. You got to, you got to be truthful to yourself.
But no, you're not truthful to yourself. Yeah, you lie to yourself. You tell yourself that you suck, and you tell yourself that you're an idiot, and you tell yourself that you're worth the abuse, and you should have done something different. And now you're the divorced one in the house, and you've got all these stories that you continue to tell yourself over and over and over and over again.
Yes.
And you got to choose to change that story. I also believe, like I told you, the reason I told you actions first is I think we can't just sit, especially as one as deeply and traumatic and entrenched as what you experienced with sexual abuse from an older kid in your neighborhood. I don't think you can think your way out of that. I think you act your way out of that, and you act your way out by practicing. Practice the new behaviors.
Right.
Okay? And
Yes,
100% chance you will stumble and fail and fall right on your face.
Right.
And that's when you become the husband and dad that your wife and kids need, because you pick yourself back up and you say, I'm sorry, and then you go again.
Yeah. It's my I'm sorry's have become unheard.
They should be. They mean nothing.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
And so it's be about reclaiming that word in your home. If you remember listening to the book, and I got this from James Clear, create an identity and backfill your life so that identity becomes natural. Meaning, don't try to, I want to bench press 235 pounds. That's a goal, and you'll stumble on that goal.
Right.
Or you'll get the goal, and then so what? You can bench press 235 pounds. Nobody cares. You're a grown man. Be a person who takes care of their body. Be a person who's a steward of their body. So you're going to be a person who's a great father. And backfilling that identity, I always tell the truth, always. I don't cheat on my kid's mother.
Right.
When I'm having bad days or when my body takes off on me, I had a really hard day yesterday, Michael. You know what I did? I left. I canceled all my meetings and left because I knew that I would not be able to be present in conversations, and I knew conversations with me, I would be very sharp-tongued. I just know that. It's rare that it happens, but I knew it, and so I took myself out of the situation. Okay? That we're looking for this type of self-awareness here, and you don't have it yet.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
So I would ask you, are your kids worth it? You know the answer is yes. Is your wife worth it? You know the answer is yes. The ultimate question is, are you?
Yes.
Do you believe that? Or are you lying to me too?
I believe it. I believe it. And,
okay, will you do the work then?
I will definitely do the work. And that's, I've been telling her I'm working on it, but she's like, I don't see it.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't. Because I don't think you're working on it. I think you're wanting to work on it. I think it's kind of like every couple of days you skip the donuts in the workroom and you tell people you're trying to eat better. Right. That's not a plan.
Right. Very good point.
Right?
Yes, sir. That's exactly dead on. Yep.
You've got to set out an identity. Here's who I'm going to be. Then you've got to backfill those actions. And quite honestly, at this point, I'd bring her along with you.
Right.
And say, what does
reestablish? I don't want to waste any more of her time.
But see, that goes back to that same, you just dumped it back in the bucket. You're a waste of somebody's time. You're not.
Yeah.
You're treating your wife like crap, but you yourself are not a waste of time.
Right.
You're not a lost cause. And the more you think about, that's actually a move, dude. That's a deceptive move. Right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying I'm a waste of time. I'm saying I don't want to waste her time.
Then don't. Then don't. Yeah. Then don't. You get to choose that.
Right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Don't waste your time.
You're exactly right.
Don't waste your time.
Exactly.
Sit down and say, what does rebuilding trust look like? And if you would like, I'll clip this call and we'll send it to you. It doesn't come out for a while, but we'll clip it to you and send it to you, and your wife can listen to it tonight or tomorrow.
She would absolutely love it.
Okay? So here's what I need you to do. Y'all both need to sit at a table, And she's got to put some hard boundaries on you because this is just going to go and it's going to go and it's going to go. And your second marriage is going to end up just like your first one.
Right.
Don't do that to her. Don't do that to you. Don't do that to those kids.
Right.
I will never lie again. And when I do, I will admit it, I will own it, and I will practice circling back out of it. And I'm going to let her speak into how do I get out. I will never be disloyal and dishonorable to my wife again. Period. I will CC her on every text, on every email I send to another woman. I will come home. She will see the bank accounts. We will share bank accounts. If you don't already, that happens today. I'm going to do these things that will show this is who I am. And this is who I am becoming. This is who I'm on the road to be. And give her some voice into what trust looks like. And then she's going to have a role to play too, because she's going to have to be graceful because you're trying something that you have not been successful with for a long, long time. And if ultimately you got to go get some counseling to deal with that childhood trauma, which is a big one, I don't care what your ACE score is, that's a huge thing. To get some healing with that, do it. But I'm going to tell you, I'm bifurcating. I'm separating that from your actions. You can stop cheating, and you can stop lying, and you can stop being dishonest with your money and with your wife, all that stuff. And you have to deal with your childhood stuff. It can be braided together. I'm pulling it apart. Choose to be different, my brother. Call me back after that meeting. Let me know how that meeting goes.